how do you make money on this? You make movies, because then now it's in a theater where people have to go out and pay money to go watch the movie. That's the only reason he doesn't want to do more TV series, because a lot of times, if you don't get involved too much, you get better long form storytelling.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you do TV series, but they don't want to do that because it's not making them enough money.
Right.
You know, when you're spending movie budgets on every episode of a TV show, so then you have movie quality TV shows, you know, you're losing a crap ton of money, and that's all they care about. It's all Iger cares about, at least. So I mean, like, you know, that's something where I understand what they're doing, but we're gonna lose a lot of that long form storytelling because they want more money.
I think Acolyte really changed the game, and not for the better, from Disney's point of view.
I think Acolyte was just the final straw. I think they were already thinking about slowing down.
They were already talking about that. Acolyte's a whole different monster, just because when Filoni and Favreau are involved, like, you know, the Mandalorian movie is coming up, they tend to do really well. So it's not so much that they care at all about, oh, well, you know, the Acolyte is what's causing this. They may use that as an excuse, but they've been wanting to do this for a while. Since Iger came back, this has been the plan.
Ash, did you see Acolyte? Did you finish it?
I did. Was it really that? I mean, okay, it wasn't my favorite. But was it that bad? Like, I don't know. Like, there's almost like the Laker parade for it being canceled, and I was kind of like, it wasn't.
I'd cancel the Laker parade. I'm fine with
bad.
that.
I mean, I wasn't a fan of it, but it was like, all right, on to the next thing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
It wasn't the worst thing that has ever been created in the history of mankind. Honestly, Solo was worse, and Solo wasn't even that bad.
Yeah, Solo was bad.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, okay, so Andor, I know they're doing a season 2, and I saw one episode. It just wasn't my thing, but at the same time, I appreciated a different angle of it, and that's what I thought this was going to be like. It kind of all doesn't count, and then I don't know. It's just weird because we're judging it by Star Wars, and Star Wars was awesome, but let's not forget, like, Luke had some really horrible lines.
Yes, he did.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, I'm not. It wasn't
from the movie.
It wasn't perfection. I love Star Wars.
Yeah.
Do not get me wrong. I also saw Star Wars when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And now it's like, you know, we were all Stallone fans, and like when you see the movie again, it's kind of like, okay. Other than Rocky. Anyway, I'm losing my point, but I kind of feel like I'm okay that it ended, because it kind of told the story of how she became Sith, and we're good. It didn't end on a cliffhanger per se. So it was like, all right, cool. Like, it wasn't like Saul getting fucking stabbed with a lightsaber and then nobody knows if he's going to survive. You know what I mean? It kind of just ended. It ended at a good, like, all right, well, they told the story. We're good. Which is kind of how I feel like we should do everything. Tell the full story, and then you have the option of continuing something. But if you don't know if you're coming back,
don't cliffhanger everything.
Tell the story. Yeah. If you're signed up for 3 seasons, please 24 it. You know what I mean? But I'm saying so far as that.
Frey, what do you think about Star Wars? You think less is more?
Well, my tacos are on the table, because so I feel like the reason I think the underlying reason all the like hardcore Star Wars fans have gotten really like they get really upset real easy, and they kind of have a hair trigger, is because we didn't get any Star Wars for like 30 years.
Yeah.
And then we got more. And then we didn't get any more for like another like 20 years. So Star Wars fans are feast and famine fans. And right now they feel like they should be in a famine state. and they're getting a feast, and it's too much for them, and they've become fat and bloated, and so that's why having maybe one a year that would still kind of give them that good meal that they don't gain too much weight in, and I mean, I'm just saying that might be better for that.
I mean, I guess I honestly would prefer more at different angles. Like I would prefer, maybe a Mandalorian and then something else in the universe to get different pieces of the appetite.
No, yeah, I could see that. But
You know-
Ash, you needed to go to
Yeah,
the bathroom.
well,
What's up?
Although too, even don't say I'm going back to the Acolyte. Do you guys remember everybody hated the fucking original? Excuse me, not the original trilogy, 1 through 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
And then
now
all of a sudden, Kenobi came back and Hayden came back, and all of a sudden, like we all forgot we hated it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now it's like it's part of the lore. Maybe the Acolyte, and then in 5 years do the Acolyte again, but like knowing where you messed up.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it grows fonder as time goes further away.
Yep.
Like
sad.
you know what I mean? Like I don't remember hating it, but I don't. You know what I mean? It was
It was Star
how do you
Wars.
say it?
Sadly,
I'll put it
the
this way.
Acolyte suffered
Exactly,
from
Star
the
Wars.
same problem. The Acolyte suffered from the same problem the trilogy suffered from, the prequel trilogy. The pacing was not all that great, and the storytelling beats were not where they needed to be. And it's funny is all of a sudden everybody loves the prequel trilogy like it wasn't something that people hated on for the longest time. Why? It's because now they can hate on the sequel trilogy and they can say, oh, well, the prequel trilogy wasn't that bad. It's also because Dave Filoni masterfully made it so that people forgot the parts that they hated about the prequel trilogy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, the animated Clone Wars movies,
Right.
and then TV series, and then Rebels.
Right.
That like really, I think, helped bridge that gap between the prequels and then the original. So
Yeah. You know what's interesting?
Mhm.
I just looked it up. The last Star Wars, so in the original trilogy, Return of the Jedi came out in 1984.
Mhm.
Phantom Menace came out in 1999. It was only 15 years later. But
Oh,
it
wow.
does seem like 30 years, like
Yeah.
you said.
Absolutely.
It feels like an entire lifetime in between the two.
Right. Well, because like we were kids when the first ones came, or some of us. I don't think all of us were, but some of us were kids when they first came. And then, by that time you've lived a whole life. And so you're not in the same place you were. So I totally get it. And then to have like sequels, like the last 3, and you're like, well, I'm really not even in a place that I was in the last 2 times. So it's like, I can't feel this anymore. I'm sorry. I'm just not there.
You know how some people's Batman is like Val Kilmer or George Clooney because as kids that's who their Batman was.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Maybe it's that. Like people probably look at the OG Star Wars and are like, oh, that's cool, and look at the shiny pod racers and the this and that. Like that's probably their Star Wars.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's as weird as that is because it's based on this. Like, here's something better, and we shined it up, but it doesn't have the heart. It doesn't have the story. It doesn't have, I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely does.
Totally agree. All right.
Let's move on here, guys, because we are kind of behind.
In brightest day, in blackest night, everything's gonna be all right, all right, all right.
Okay, that's not badly written. That's pretty
We recently reported Josh Brolin was offered the role of Hal Jordan in the DC Studios Lanterns series for Max. But actually, I just saw today that he may have declined the role.
right.
But so the next potential actors are looking for Hal Jordan are going to be Matthew McConaughey or Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ewan McGregor as Hal Jordan. So tacos on the table. Who do you see playing Hal Jordan in the DCU? Frey,
think-
go.
Oh, okay.
You're not Frey. Frey, go.
So my here's how I'm gonna rank them. All right. So who I want first, second, and third. Okay. Or who I think would do the best job. First, Matthew McConaughey, then Josh Brolin, and then Ewan McGregor. Because Ewan McGregor can play like slimy, but he can't play that I'm cocky, but I can also be like humble brag guy. He's not that. He can either be slimy or he can be righteous. I mean, that's really kind of how Ewan McGregor is. So that's
I gotcha. Okay, young Phil.
I was gonna say what I feel is happening here. Specifically, I think Josh Brolin has something else that he's working on right now, and he's passing on it because because it's like there's a scheduling conflict now. Of all the people on here, Matthew McConaughey I think fits the best because he can be braggadocious, he can be cocky, he can be very misogynistic as far as the way that he can portray a character.
Mhm.
he can
even though,
play
like,
down and out pilot too.
Yeah, like even though like if you see how he is in real life, he definitely is not. But I mean, he can play the character very well. So I think
Isn't Matthew McConaughey tall too?
he is,
He's
which
tall and lanky.
right, which is kind of what you want for Hal Jordan. So I think if anybody were to play Hal Jordan, I think Matthew McConaughey is probably the best pick.
All
So
right,
you
all
agree with
right,
my
all right.
list?
Yes.
Ash, who do you see any of these three actors playing Hal Jordan, or would you pick somebody else?
Don't you guys feel like studios are just picking the same motherfucker? Sorry, can I cuss?
You can cuss. Do it.
The
Fucking
same-
A. Do it.
The same motherfuckers. Like it's rinse repeat. Like, hey, you were in a Marvel movie, do a DC movie.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to do any better because I honestly think they're never going to give him Batman or Nightwing.
Mhm.
So why not the guy that played Soldier Boy?
Jensen
Jensen
Ackles.
Oh, Jensen
Yeah.
Ackles. Actually, Jensen Ackles is a good pick too.
That's
Yeah,
a good
he
one.
would. Actually, he would be like Dean Winchester is very similar.
Yeah.
To,
He would be a really good Hal Jordan, actually.
Yeah.
Wait,
I think
who's
he's a
Dean,
little short though.
who's Dean Win? Are you a little short for a Green Lantern? Who's Dean
Jensen
Winchester?
Ackles from Supernatural.
Thank
Well,
you.
if you keep him in the air the whole time, you're not really you don't have to
That's
even
true.
need the apple box
Ah,
Yeah, that's
just
true.
keep
That's
him-
true.
floating.
How
give him them
tall
apple
is-
bottom jeans.
boots with the fur?
Stroke the furry
That's my,
wall.
Yeah,
as I call
I'm
it, my
into
Saturday night.
that.
I
Uh,
would like
I
that.
I actually
would
like that Jensen
just-
Ackles one better.
Yeah,
how
Jensen
tall?
Ackles.
How tall is Jensen Ackles compared to Nathan?
6'1".
Fillion?
Jensen Ackles is 6'1", and what'd you say the rest?
Nathan Fillion.
Oh, because Nathan
he's already Guy
Fillion is
Gardner, right?
playing Guy
He's
Gardner.
playing
Yeah.
Guy Gardner. So like if you like by comparison,
Ash, you and I are
how
the
tall
same,
are they?
Totally.
6'2".
You know what would have been cool though? If Nathan Fillion played when he has the white on the sides.
have you seen the pictures of Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner? He's got a bowl.
Yeah.
He's got a bowl
But
cut. It's amazing.
But I'm saying if he did Hal Jordan, it would have to be the one where he has the white on the sides.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because this is definitely supposed to be an older Hal Jordan. That's what I was saying. Like, I would like this. I think we were talking about it last week. I would like this to be like pre-Parallax, but like right before he becomes Parallax. Because
Mhm.
then you have an excuse to do Ion when you introduce not Guy Gardner, Kyle Rayner.
Mhm,
So
mhm, mhm.
Okay, so the reason that I think that Jensen Ackles is so short is because Jared Padalecki is 6'4".
yeah, Jared Padalecki's just a big dude.
He's like abnormally like he should have been a basketball player.
Well, it's funny because Nathan Fillion's 6'2", Jensen Ackles is 6'1", so they would be pretty comparable. Even though technically, Guy Gardner should be a lot taller than Hal Jordan, but
Actually, not. He's not that much taller. He's supposed to be like more stocky and wider.
Yeah.
Like because and I don't know if this was a retcon from it because I should look into the original like Hal Jordan origin. But anyway, totally off topic. Focus. All right.
actually, Hal should be somewhat short because he was a pilot.
Well, yeah, but it was like,
But
he
it
was
doesn't look
supposed
as
to
cool.
be
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, Guy Gardner's supposed to be a little bit taller, but remember Guy Gardner was also a pilot.
Was Guy a pilot? I thought he was just a cop.
He was oh no, you're right. He was a cop. I'm
Yeah.
thinking of somebody else.
Yeah, was
Yeah,
just
he
a
was
cop.
a cop. As soon as I said it, I was like, wait a minute, no, Guy Gardner was a cop. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Mhm.
If the story is amazing, but somebody's supposed to be taller, does that take you out of it?
No, it's more. I kind of just want comic book accurate versions of the character. It's kind of why I've been saying I'm forgetting his name, but the dude who was in Reacher.
Oh, Alan Rickson.
I want to see Alan Rickson as Batman because the dude fits Batman's profile.
Oh yeah.
Batman is supposed to be 6'4", 280 pounds. Like I want to see a dude who is 6'4", 280 pounds play Batman.
Are you saying Tom Cruise couldn't play Batman?
No,
He could play Wolverine.
he could play Wolverine. He's only an inch taller than Wolverine.
The-
Like Tom Cruise in real life is only an inch taller than Wolverine is in the comics.
That's funny.
the person you said has the builds,
Yeah.
but I don't think, and this is a nobody saying this. I don't know if he could pull off the vulnerability of that. Might be losing my parents has affected me all the way. You know what I mean? Like
I think he could just based on the way he played Reacher and the way that he played Hawk in
Hawk was good, but he was a jealous bitch.
he was, but
Yeah.
the thing is that he has enough range where he can play the emotions. You know, it's kind of like I want to see a dude who can play
Yeah.
pent up anger and I take it out on villains at night while I'm dressed as a
Mhm.
bat. You know, like I think that he would be I think Alan Rickson is the perfect person to play Batman based on his build and based on his acting ability.
All right.
Anyways,
I
we're on a tangent. We need to get back
Right.
on it.
Every time you invite me, you know that's gonna happen.
Let me just say this. I'm just going to say this one thing about Alan Rickson. We'll totally get back to it.
Yeah.
I'm coming around to Alan being Batman because I think he would be a good Batman. But you know that I do have that one actor from Masters of the Air that I swear would be the perfect Batman. He looks just like him. Anyway.
He does look like Bruce Wayne. I know who you're talking about.
I don't know who you're talking about. But hey, I'm gonna bounce. Ash, been awesome. Good seeing you. Frey,
Thank you.
you're amazing. Young Phil.
Suck eggs. I love you, brother. Have a good night, man.
All right, we'll see you.
Also, by the way, shout out to your wife that was in the Instagram chat. I know
I
Jenny
gotta
was in the
I gotta
Instagram chat.
That's the first time ever.
I know.
ya.
Catch you later, man. So moving on to the next story here, just because I am somewhat excited to hear about this. Hardcore is how I like my Superman. The latest rumor is the tone of the new Superman film will be a complete shift to hardcore sci-fi and fantasy, the exact opposite of Man of Steel, set in a world very different from ours and far removed from the DCEU. Heroes have been around for ages, and we'll see how it affected this world's history and has shaped the DCU. Gunn and the other filmmakers will explore and play in a world where heroes have been around for ages. So tacos on the table. Is this the DCU you expected, or is this a crisis?
That's what I expected. Tacos are on the table for. I expected it to be like this.
Yeah, I kind of did too, mainly because I know James Gunn is a massive nerd, and he's really big about making things comic book accurate. So I do like the idea of him doing something that is more sci-fi, but kind of in the world of all that. I wouldn't be mad at Jonathan Majors getting a second shot as John Stewart.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that either. Although the Soru Diashu, who was in Slow Horses and also was the lead in Mr. Malcolm's List, would also be very good John Stewart. as well.
Haven't they
He's a
cast
British
John
actor.
Stewart already?
Yeah, I think they have, but he
Yeah.
would be amazing as it, or as Kane.
Yeah. We'll think about like another character Jonathan Majors can play. like over the course of
Oh, he would be really good as Black Manta.
if they recast Black Manta.
Well, they're not
Oh, that's
the
right.
redo.
That's right. They're redoing it.
because Momoa is going to be Lobo.
He's gonna be Lobo now, right? Actually, yeah, that would be a good Black Manta.
He would be really
He
good.
brings the gravitas for Black Manta.
Yeah.
The
I'm trying
only,
to think if there's anything else because they've already got Mr. Terrific. So,
Have him play Red Tornado.
oh
Red Tornado could actually be fun with Jonathan Majors.
yeah, oh man, Red Tornado would be amazing. Oh.
Right. Ash, what do you think of this, man?
It looks like he's getting dressed for bed because it looks like a big onesie. And
it has the underwear too.
It's I don't know, man. And Esteban showed me like, well, it's based on this comic book, so it's accurate.
Right.
But
the red
it
underwear
looks like padding. It looks like Roman Reigns when he used to wear his vest. Like it's all just like padding. It doesn't look like these are my fucking muscles.
But like apparently that is the like Corn Sweat actually is like kind of built like that.
I understand that. I'm just saying what I'm looking at. Since the day I saw that picture, it was more interesting when it was like Godzilla in the background. It wasn't even about the picture. It was like what they photoshopped in the background.
Yeah,
that made it awesome.
I think in the modern era, with the way that Superman's costume has been for the last like I don't know what the 25 years, it's not 30 years, like the last 25 years. Like at least since New 52 when they kind of got rid of the underoos. I've liked that look, and now they're going back to the underoos, and it kind of throws me off a little bit. But I mean, it's not like I can't do it again.
Everybody shat on it because Cavill because it was so dark, and then now you have an even darker suit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it either way. I feel like
I'm gonna see it. They're gonna get my money, and I hope. It's hard to put your trust in your. I'm going to invest because if it doesn't make the money a studio wants, they're just gonna drop it.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's hard for like I accepted Ben Affleck as Batman. I loved Cavill as Superman. Fucking Gal Gadot, yes, please.
Yes,
and it like. They even gave us a little bit of it still might happen because she showed up in what's the funeral thing? I forgot what it was.
What
was it?
Well, she was in Flash. And then was she in Blue Beetle?
There was a funeral, remember? And she showed up for it, and then like
I think she was I think that was in Blue Beetle.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
I think that was Blue Beetles. Yeah. But anyway, so now it makes me feel like Blue Beetle's not going to count because they're going to get another Wonder Woman.
Well, no, they said Blue Beetle is technically the first movie that's canon within this new DCU. So
yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah, I didn't. I represent general public. Like I don't. You know what I mean? Like oh shit. You know what I mean? Like I don't do the extra little. You show me a comicbook.com thing, I will look at that and look at everything, whatever, but I won't click it and like read because it doesn't ever start with the story you want to click. It'll be like Anna Paquin was born in like I don't need to know all this. Like where's the why I clicked? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, I'll tell you.
Somebody will tell me.
Yeah.
Probably
I know. Let's move on to the next story here.
So from hunted to
huntress.
Shit. God,
yeah.
The Wolverine Origins.
I'm sorry, I'm just throwing it out there. Pom Clementif is hot.
She is.
Yeah.
That's Wolverine Origins, right?
No, that's
she
that
played
is
Mantis.
that's Mantis in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah.
But
You're thinking of Kelly Hu. You're thinking of Kelly Hu.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah. Who
But
she played Lady
in
Deathstrike.
that picture, she does look a lot like
No, Origins.
Yeah, that's
really
Kelly Hu.
Okay. She wasn't Lady Deathstrike?
No.
No, she wasn't. No, she's
Pom Clementif. So Kelly Hu played Lady Deathstrike in X-Men Origins.
Yeah.
Pom Clementif played Mantis in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
Yeah.
My bad.
No, you're fine. Well,
good.
she's in talks to join
Huntress?
James Gunn's DCU as a specific character. We actually did report that a couple months ago.
Wait.
But now it's being talked about that she's actually gonna in talks to play Helena Bertinelli, aka the Huntress. Not really
Yeah.
really like her to be Helena Wayne, but that's a whole nother thing. Although it's noted that other roles have also been discussed with her. So
Right. Yeah, I mean, I kind of would prefer Bertinelli over Helena Wayne, just because it's the Helena Wayne storyline is so obscure at this point.
how dare you? Okay.
It is, though. I mean, technically, yes, she is. The original version of Huntress is Bruce Wayne's daughter, but I mean, like, that got retconned. It became Bertinelli. She's a mob boss's daughter, and I've always
Yeah,
liked
that's what I was gonna say. Do you think they'll change it to Yakuza or something? Or
No, I think because she's half. So I mean, like, you know, she's yeah. I think
She's
that
French Asian.
yeah, she's half French, half
very
Asian.
beautiful.
She is. She's fucking gorgeous. But I mean, like, I don't like. I think that they could pull it off and have her play an Italian mob boss's daughter. Just, you know, he married an Asian woman, and there you go.
Here's who I think she should be. Lady Shiva.
Ooh, Lady Shiva would be good too, though.
I think she would be a better Lady Shiva than Huntress.
Yeah.
I do. I just honestly, I think that would be better. I think, and I would love to see her as Lady Shiva up against a Dinah.
A
Black
smaller
Canary.
story, but isn't there a love story between them two as well?
Who Lady Shiva and Black Canary?
Oh no, I thought it was and Bruce, no? Or am I thinking of a different
I think Lady Shiva's Cassandra Cain's mom, and that was the
Damn.
assassin guy. I can't remember who was it.
Okay.
Her father was like a mercenary assassin.
Okay. I
So
could have sworn something, but
Oh,
okay.
we're talking about what's his name? Sportsmaster?
yeah, Sportsmaster. But yeah, I think that's it. Lady Shiva's sister Cheshire, she
dope.
she was she got down and dirty with Speedy and Roy
Or
Harper.
he was Roy Harper was Arsenal at that point, but I mean,
You
still.
definitely want a love life with a guy named Speedy.
Yeah, well, and
He's a lot more badass when he becomes Arsenal and he gets off the drugs. So
Oh, Arsenal's the shit. I know Arsenal.
it was so dope. All I know is if we're bringing Asian characters into this, Karen Fukuhara needs to come back and play Katana and get a second chance at Katana. She she was like the only good part of that movie.
She really was. No, I absolutely agree. So yeah, but I was just like looking at that picture, and I know they like put that picture because she had the dark hair for Helena Bertinelli. But as soon as I saw that, I was like, she needs to play Lady Shiva. I don't care. She needs to play Lady Shiva because that would be perfect for her.
It's funny because like those characters specifically, if you're going with that like those versions of those characters, like all three of those sisters would lend themselves to being Asian, and it would work.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Same thing with if we're gonna be recasting characters, I'm just throwing it out there. Dick Grayson needs to be half Chinese, and he needs to be. They need to do an Asian Dick Grayson because I think that would be fucking dope.
I think that would be amazing.
Dick Grayson looks.
Simu
Yeah. Oh my God, Simu Liu would be dope, but I mean he's too big though. Like I think he's
he
too
is too
wide.
big.
You need somebody super slender. But I've always said in the comics when you look at Dick Grayson when he becomes Nightwing, he looks like he could either be Native American or Asian.
That's Tony Daniel's fault, by the way. But yes, I say fault. He draws Nightwing.
Yeah,
I've always loved that each Robin has a different fighting style.
Yeah,
because it's like your personality and what lends yourself to it. Like it's been, I don't know. Everybody makes a Robin joke, but it's pretty cool that one's like more. It's like wrestling.
Yeah.
There's
Mhm.
a guy that's fucking brute. There's a guy that's flippy flips.
Acrobatic, yeah.
and yeah.
Oh, which
Yeah,
by
they-
the way, did you guys both watch Cape Crusader?
Yes. Oh my god, I love
Yeah.
it. Oh my god, Diedrich
The Robin
Bader.
episode?
Huh?
The Robin
Yes.
episode?
Oh, that was
They
was
To be
named
fair,
all of the orphans after different Robins. I love that.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
love-
noticed that.
Yeah, they called Jace, and that was supposed to be Jason Todd.
yeah.
He was Dick Grayson. They had
Dick,
Stephanie
Jace,
Brown,
Stephanie,
who's the current Robin.
Steph.
They had
Tim, and
had
Carrie.
Timmy, who was Tim Drake.
hmm
Um,
And Carrie Kelly.
Carrie Kelly,
know-
right?
It also gives credence to everybody has their chance to be Robin. I mean, I understandably, Dick was Dick Grayson for fucking 20 years, but then we got this, and this.
Yeah.
But if you do it like this, maybe you're only Robin for 2 years.
Yeah.
You can't handle it anymore, and then
Well,
now we
and
do this.
they want. I think they want it to be a little bit more noiry and more like detective-y. And so it could be that instead of having a Robin, they're his Robins, and they get.
They
all
have
the
done that
info
before,
from
right?
him.
Well,
Yeah.
now with
I've
the
seen
Bat
that cover.
family,
They've done that before.
Yeah.
now with
Sorry.
the Bat family, because you have Dick Grayson as Nightwing, and then you have Jason Todd as the Red Hood, and then you
Mhm.
have Tim Drake as Red Robin, and then you have the current Robin being Damian Wayne.
Yeah, yeah. So I
Okay.
mean, it's there are ways to do it. It's just like absolutely. But Diedrich Bader
Bader.
actually, I told him, I was like, hey, I really like on Threads or something. I was like, I really am enjoying your Harvey Dent in Batman
Yeah.
Cape Crusader, and he was like, it was a huge political post that he had done, and everybody was really arguing about it. And I just was like, I'm just gonna say this, and he took the time and he was like, that's so nice, thank you.
Because I mean, I really liked his Batman. I think Diedrich Bader's Batman was really good, and it's cool. Like, it's cool when you see people who played Batman at one point and they're playing other characters.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because he played
He's,
in Breaking the Bull.
yeah.
He played Batman.
Harvey
in
Dent, right?
Yeah.
He played
Well,
Harvey
he,
Dent. in
yeah,
this.
he plays Harvey Dent in Cape Crusader.
Anyways, we got to go back to the story here. So, do we believe that she could play Helena Bertinelli?
Yeah.
Are we all in agreement on this?
With
Yeah,
what
I
you,
think she
with
could.
what
Yeah,
you
Dr.
said,
Fate.
yes.
Okay. So let's move on here.
Sorry, no, real quick.
Yeah.
I was guilty of this right now because I'm like, oh, maybe she would be better as this, whatever. But
Mhm.
Ray should never stop you from doing
Yes,
anything.
absolutely.
There's so
Oh,
many people.
yeah.
She's Mexican. Why is she playing Native American? It's not disrespect. It's the actor is playing a person. It doesn't need to be that race. It's just you're playing a character.
Mhm.
unless it's
there-
on the verge of parody. So like if you
Right? Yeah, exactly.
so you're a white person playing a Mexican, but you're like making fun of Mexicans, that's probably not cool. But I mean,
absolutely. Or if you're playing T-Hawk in Street Fighter, you just don't do it.
Yeah.
So what I just meant was like it just shouldn't stop you because there's a way to explain away something.
Right.
If it's that, because when you said, oh, maybe he married an Asian woman, like, oh,
Yeah.
absolutely, like,
Yeah.
all good, like, so it was what I was guilty of, but I love La Bamba, and that gets played by a Filipino person,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
I do not care. That was my La Bamba. I do not care. It's the reason I picked up a guitar. I don't care. So like, it shouldn't just let you stop. Like, it shouldn't. Nobody should hate it because of this, because that other race might be hired to play another race. You just never know.
Right.
So it just pigeonholes you to be like, no, we can't do it because she's not Native American. Whatever character, it sucks because then you have to pick the best of whoever auditioned.
Right.
You know what I mean?
the other thing is also there are plenty of actors of a certain race that can get the role, but a lot of times they don't because it's like, well, they're not going to be relatable. Well, you know,
Or-
if a certain character is pick. There are actors looking for work that are good actors that don't get a
Definitely.
chance. Give them the chance.
Yeah.
Or exactly. I was gonna say even too, she's perfect, but it's Catwoman, and we need it to be, you know what I mean? Like we need her. Studios are not willing to fucking take a chance, which I fucking hate,
Mhm.
and that's because you know what I mean. Like they,
Well, like
It's
the
funny,
argument with Zoe Kravitz, people were talking about, they're going to make her black. Well, she was black in the comics, so I mean, like there was a point, and Eartha
and
Kitt,
they've already done that with Holly
Yeah.
Berry. Like no
yeah,
one.
but I'm
should
saying like
care.
Eartha Kitt played her in the '60s, so I mean,
Yeah.
you know, like
Exactly.
there's plenty of versions of different characters, and you can make a new version of a character.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
As long as it makes sense.
Speaking of which, I just cut you off like 8 times on your own show.
Go.
I'm so sorry. What do you think of Oswalda?
I loved her. Oh my god,
Right?
Oswalda was a character that I did not know I needed because like she is so brutal, man. Like, and the thing is that you could not get that with the male version of that character, mainly
Yeah.
because she was willing to kill her own son in order to keep them quiet. Right? Like you could
Yep.
not get that with the male version of the Penguin because the male version of the Penguin's demeanor is different, and she
Yeah.
was so much more believable as a female character.
Yeah, I liked all the way that they did all of the characters.
Yeah.
Like how they started with Harley Quinn, and they, I mean, like,
Yeah, Harley Quinn's version of Harley Quinn not being influenced by the Joker, I kind of like that. I like that
Yeah.
she was just like she was like a criminal mastermind in the way she did things. Plus, the darkness of the way she did things made
Yeah.
her so much more of a threat than Arlene Sorkin's version of Harley.
well, it's all science. Like she's just that, no ethics, all science kind of thing. And so I loved that. I was like, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I do think because of how she was created, it needed the arc of the, subservient to the turn to the I'm my own character to now the Joker's not, like it needed that whole thing.
Absolutely.
Her whole arc of characters is this, where we
Mhm.
can be able to do this. Like, because there's even talk of the way she starts with the gas. Maybe instead of a bunch of Harleys, there's going to be a bunch of Jokers.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, they if you didn't get to the end, there's a cameo from the Joker in the post credit scene at the end of the series. So I love that, they told so many stories without having to rehash the Joker, and then they just did a tease of the Joker at the end. That wasn't even like a full tease. Like you don't see him in his makeup, you don't see him in all this other stuff. And I can't wait to see the take on the Joker that they do with this,
Yeah.
because it's going to be very different from what everybody's used to.
Mhm.
Last thing about that, the thing I want to see is, do you remember how she had targets?
Yeah.
All Joker wants to do is bring Batman out for another challenge, for another this.
Right.
It would be cool if she's the one giving him the target because she wants this person taken out, or she wants this corporation taken out.
Like if the Joker's
Blow
brainwashed.
up whatever, and he's like, as long as Batman's going to be there, I'm good. I think that would be cool.
What I would love is if you get the Joker is somebody who Harley brainwashed. You don't know his past or anything like that. And he starts off as a brainwashed dude, but then has a psychotic break and becomes his own character. Like,
Right.
I would love if they reverse roll it and he becomes what Harley started off as.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that would be a good take on the Joker.
she made him that, and that's why she's so dedicated. That's fucking brilliant.
Yeah,
I'm glad I thought of it.
I absolutely. Throwing it
Just
out
kidding.
there, Tim. I know you listen to the show, Mr. Bruce Tim. I know you listen to the show, so please take that idea.
There you go.
I know James in the chat saying we should skip some news. It's going to be a long night. So let's move on to the next story here. which again, more news that I'm excited for. Swinging into some Spider-Man 4 news, Shang-Chi director Destin Daniel Cretton is in talks to helm Spider-Man 4 for Marvel Studios and Sony Pictures. According to Deadline, he is the top choice for the job to take over the franchise from director John Watts. Cretton also previously set to direct Avengers: The Kang Dynasty. He is currently working on Marvel's Wonder Man series. So talk is on the table. Does Destin Daniel Cretton get your Spidey 4 senses tingling?
Yes.
I would
Talk is on the table.
I would love it because I think that he does action well. I think he does dialogue well. I think that he can do really good dynamic between characters. So I think that he would do a good job with Spider-Man.
Yeah, I do too.
All right. So all of our on the table. Let's move on.
No, okay, all right, fuck it. I'm sorry, James. The only thing good about the Acolyte was when they lost their lightsabers, the hand to hand. So you never know. Like maybe this one will be the Spider-Man where it's gonna be like, this is how I learned it. This is Tom Holland part 4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you never. Do you get what I mean? Like maybe this will be the different version of a Spider-Man,
Right.
Because I don't know. That's just,
supposedly everything's supposed to be leading into the black suit Spider-Man. This is also supposed to be in between Doomsday and Secret Wars. So, and they're saying that it's supposed to take place. Everything in this time frame is supposed to take place on Battle World. So it makes sense that we would finally get the black suit Spider-Man.
But this is because of the end of, is it Venom 2 or is it end of part 3?
No.
Remember only the symbiote came through the little whatever.
Right. I think that they're probably gonna do something on there, but it's not gonna be like he goes up to a machine, presses a button, and it gives him the black suit like it was in the comics, right?
No,
like,
of course not.
I think they're I think
hopefully he does this.
God. But I do think that they're finally going to do the black suit Spider-Man. We're probably going to get a true to form version of Venom.
I would even want it to be the whole movie, and that's how he beats a certain person, and then we lose the black suit in the next one.
Oh, yeah, no,
I give it a whole thing.
I don't want Venom in this movie, but I would love to see him get the black suit. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, he technically got a black suit before, but it was the stealth suit. I want to see him get the black suit, and then in the next movie have that whole dynamic of Spider-Man losing everything and just kind of losing his composure and becoming kind of like slightly crazy.
Yeah.
And then we get Venom, which means in this movie we also need to get introduced to Eddie Brock and like a real version of Eddie Brock.
Brock Lesnar?
Brock Lesnar. Let's get Brock Lesnar as Eddie Brock. No, we don't need
that.
Him.
Would be dope. He's a way better character than he was in the 90s, 2000s.
Yeah,
he could probably do it now.
We definitely need a big dude to play Eddie Brock, right? I mean,
Alan Rickson.
Tom Hardy would have been.
He wanted to play everything.
I mean, they're not going to do that version of him again unless they have Tom Hardy come in and play and actually play him as a angry, vengeful dude. You know, the way that he should be, guy that just hates Peter Parker.
You know what Sony would do is they would let that movie happen, and then Venom 4 will be that fucking Venom versus him. It would be a weird good guy Venom versus a bad guy Venom. It would be a weird thing.
Yeah, I could, because we already know, they haven't even announced it yet, but we know that the main villain in the next movie is gonna be what's his name? The god of the symbiotes. Null. We know it's gonna be Null. They haven't earned Null, but they're gonna do it.
I don't want that. I want Maximum Carnage. I want Maximum Carnage, and I would be happy.
Love a full-on Maximum Carnage.
All right.
I would just be done.
Yeah, let's move on to the next story. I'm sorry, we're gonna keep going if we don't. So let's move on to the next story. But yes, 100%. And I want Doppelganger, and I want Hobgoblin. Yeah! Let's move on. Let's move on.
Sorry.
I don't don't know. I don't know if I can actually say this line with all sincerity. I still love you 3000. I don't know about that right now.
I love you 3000.
Is that the little girl from Iron Man?
Yes.
Yeah, so Catherine Langford
shit.
was hired to play that older version of Tony Stark's daughter, Morgan Stark, at the end of Endgame when after he gives up his, he sacrifices himself.
Right.
But she did not end up in that final cut. Now she might just be getting her chance to really step into the MCU. So according to rumor, there are plans for Langford to reprise her role as Morgan in a future MCU project. Okay, so we know it's going to be Young Avengers. Instead of this being an adult version of the little girl introduced in Avengers Endgame, this would more likely be a multiversal role. Oh. Marvel Studios has moved on from Kang the Conqueror, meaning it's possible Morgan could fill the void left by Iron Lad in a possible Young Avengers project. Yeah, I mean, she could be Doctor Doom's daughter.
Oh yeah.
That turns into like Iron Lass or something or whatever. Traveling back in time to save the future sounds like a very Stark-like thing to do.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So talk is on the table. Will Morgan Stark fly into the MCU?
I 100% believe that we are going to get Morgan Stark just because she didn't get her chance in the last movie. I love the idea of her being a variation of Iron Lad. That would
I think it'd be awesome. Yeah, my taco's on the table.
Yeah, no, I think I'm going through 13 Reasons Why. That's not the same girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, she was in 13 Reasons Why.
Yeah, she was in 13.
Oh shit! Okay, so that looks exactly like that girl, which makes me love that 13 Reasons Why more. Small tangent because I know I've already done like 8 of them. There is a storyline where Ironheart, her Jarvis is Tony Stark.
Mm-hmm.
Am I tripping or am I not?
And we've been saying for a while that would be a good way to bring Tony Stark back in, but
right, that was a thing.
Yeah,
I know I saw that. Okay. Anyway, god damn, that would be heartwarming if she played Ironheart and that was her Jarvis was her dad. That would be. You would cry every fucking episode.
Like a multiversal Ironheart.
Yeah, that'd be so fucking dope.
Or she could be Rescue.
I was gonna say she'd probably be better as Rescue, or she'd be again a multiversal version of Iron Lad.
Yeah,
great,
there's so many different ways you could go with it.
You never know that they could both exist, and that's their Jarvis. Just so that it's not a one or the other. It's just a the people keeping the team intact.
Yeah.
Anyway,
no idea that they had where it's like Tony uploads his entire consciousness into an AI and he becomes an AI for the system. Like everybody was saying, like that would be good in Ironheart for him to become the AI.
Yeah,
the way that Jarvis was the AI, or Friday, his girl Friday was the AI in the newer suits. But
or Edith.
Do you remember in Iron Man 1 and he goes, I'll be back for he looks at the black suit and is like, I'll be back, baby, or something along those lines. Mm-hmm. That'd be cool if there was like a nod to right before Ironheart doesn't know if she's gonna live or die in this battle. Mm-hmm. It's like a last little thing to her that unlocks the suit in a different room somewhere. You get what I mean? Like, I don't know. Just
because he hadn't worn he hadn't wore the suit yet, so that was a War Machine reference that we ended up getting in the second movie.
Right, like it would be cool. Like if it was like right when I don't know, Ironheart's is talking to her just to say goodbye, but it's a I love you 3000, and that unlocks her suit in a totally different. All we see is the lights come up, and then we all know what that means. Does that make sense? All right.
Yeah, like she's giving her the mantle. Like something happens to Ironheart, and she gets.
I mean, she's gonna live, but she doesn't. The Ironheart doesn't know she's gonna live. That continues on.
Right.
Yeah. Iron Lad. Yeah. Sorry.
No,
I love nerding out on different scenarios.
No, you're good.
So again, moving on, just because we have so much to cover. Spider-Man, bumping Spider-Man. It might be even longer until Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse swings its way into theaters. A new report indicated that Beyond the Spider-Verse will likely be delayed to at least 2027, in part due to the proximity of Destin Daniel Cretton's Spider-Man 4. The report also claims that Sony Pictures has scrapped most of the existing work on Beyond the Spider-Verse due to a creative overhaul, but the animators are relieved to have more time to work on the sequel. So, tacos on the table. Are you willing to let your spidey sense tingle for Beyond the Spider-Verse if that means that you get Spider-Man 4?
Sure. Tacos are on the table.
I'm not too happy about it because Spider-Man 4, that'll be cool and whatnot, but nothing is more Spider-Man than the Spider-Verse movies.
Oh, that's true. That's true. But if you, we'll get both. That's the thing. And we may not get a 4 if they don't bump this one. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Still on tacos?
Yeah, James is trying to move us
Miguel
around.
would not have worked if it wasn't for us nerds knowing 2099.
Yeah.
So they took a big chance on that because, well, why is this the bad guy? And he really wasn't. It's just I'm trying to put together my plan and get this. This is the way this works.
Right.
And if 4 isn't as successful as the other ones, then you still have Beyond the Spider-Verse to look forward to because those have been slam dunks. And the animators get more time, so it's not as much of a crunch.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited for just after the end of the last movie. I'm just like, I need more Miles. I need to see Miles as the Prowler because that seems like such a cool concept.
Yeah.
Of Miles fighting Miles, and it's like Spider-Man Miles versus Prowler Miles, and it's like that's so dope.
Are you guys old enough to know Old Dog?
Oh yeah. Old Dog. That's what's his name? He was in Star Wars recently.
He was in Star Wars recently?
Yeah.
Manny.
Him at that age would have been a good bad Miles.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. No, I'm just saying that it's not the person I was thinking of. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. But yes. So that is it for rumors. I know James is like, no more tacos, but it is it for rumors. That is it for rumors. So let us move on, guys, because it is now time for the download, and we still have a lot to cover here too. So let's get into the download. All right.
For more news, trailers, reactions, check out Distance Nerdington Post. Let us know what you're nerding out on.
Yeah, we're gonna start off with some sad news here.
Yes. And remember, these are just bite sized, so we don't have to. Look at the stars. The great kings look down on us from those stars, and so will I. That was James Earl Jones. He said that as Mufasa. Right. The world has lost one of its most revered voices. Legendary actor James Earl Jones has passed away at the age of 93. An amazing career that spanned more than 7 decades, Jones left a big mark on both stage and screen. His portrayal of the villainous Sith Lord elevated Star Wars into a cultural phenomenon. Also, Mufasa, the wise and noble Lion King in Disney's The Lion King. From the baseball classic Field of Dreams to his wonderful portrayal of Admiral Greer in The Hunt for Red October and Patriot Games. He was nominated for a lead actor Oscar for his role in The Great White Hope and was given an honorary Oscar at the 2012 ceremony. He is an 8-time Emmy nominee. His 2 wins both came in 1991, lead actor in a drama series for Gabriel's Fire, and supporting actor in a mini-series or special for Heat Wave. As we remember James Earl Jones, we reflect on a career that not only spanned generations, but also shaped them.
Yeah. Rest in peace, James Earl Jones, man. He had a good life, 93 years old. I kind of had a feeling it was coming soon, and as much as I didn't want it to.
Yeah.
The man not only defined my childhood, but he was in way more than the movies that we just named off here. He was in a lot more
Definitely.
influential movies. He was in the
Conan movie.
Conan. He was in the Sandlot. That's right. He played the snake guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he did so many plays, so many.
That's how he got found. Was he was on stage, and they were like, "We like his voice. We don't like David Prowse's voice. Let's get this guy with this deep voice to do this character for us." And he did it.
And he was the voice of CNN.
That's right. He was the voice of CNN. You are now watching CNN.
Yes.
Or no, this is CNN.
And this is CNN.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he had a long career. It's sad that he has passed away. But he outlived a lot of people.
Yeah, he did. Again, rest in peace, James Earl Jones. Let's move on because I'm going to be too depressed to do anything else if I don't. On to some abs news, because Aaron Taylor Johnson and Tom Hardy, two men who have beautiful abs, are teaming up with director Cary Fukunaga, who directed how many episodes of Star Wars, for a feature film adaptation of the Joe Nesbo crime thriller Blood on Snow, set in the 1970s Oslo, where two rival gang leaders, Hoffman and the fisherman, Hoffman and the fisherman, who's played by Hardy, vie for control. So we do have a.
Oh, I'll do it.
Go for it.
Venom versus Craven Opsis. Sony will probably do it. Synopsis.
This saddens me that they're gonna do this, but Venom versus Craven Opsis. Sony will probably do it. Synopsis. Synopsis. That's probably how Sony feels. But in reality, the reality is that's how we all feel about it. Actually,
I'm still thinking about the abs.
I was gonna say actually to be on like how everybody actually feels is. The synopsis reads: Hoffman's trusted hitman, Olav, played by Abs Johnson, is a cold, efficient killer perfect for the job. But beneath his ruthless exterior lies an unexpected intelligence and an unwavering moral code shaped by a complicated childhood. When Hoffman orders his own wife to be murdered, Olav's principles clash with his loyalties. Instead of pulling the trigger, he hatches a scheme that makes him Hoffman's next target, and with nowhere safe to turn, Olaf forms an uneasy alliance that places him at the heart of Oslo's deadly gang war. No date set for Abs, but Abs are coming.
I liked it better when it was called The Replacement Killers.
There you go. So from
I don't know how I ended up on this one because I wanted to read this one, but go for it.
So from Abs to When Brie Goes Bad. The casting for Amazon MGM Studios and Mattel Films live action film adaptation of Masters of the Universe continues with the addition of Alison Brie, who is taking on the role of the villain Evelyn. She joins the previously cast Camila Mendez, who is set to play Tila, and Nicholas Galazzini, who will be taking on the role of He-Man. Masters of the Universe is being produced by Escape Artists and Mattel Films for release exclusively in theaters worldwide on June 5th, 2026.
I'm excited for this just because hopefully it does everything justice.
I think she'll be a good Evelyn. I like Evelyn. Also,
I love that they chose to use Super Evelyn as the picture.
Yeah.
She was such a dope character.
Yep.
Yes, but let's and she actually does kind of look like Evelyn. So
I could absolutely see that.
Yeah. So again, moving on to the next headline here. Not only murders in the building, but new seasons. Hulu has officially renewed Steve Martin and Martin Short and Selena Gomez's fantastic murder series, or mystery series, sorry, Only Murders in the Building for season 5. The 5th season will consist of 10 episodes. Season 4 is running now through October 29th on Hulu. Moving on to Potter news, because Alahomora Potterheads. The search is underway for the new trio of young actors to play the iconic roles of Harry Potter, Ron Weasley, and Hermione Granger in HBO's upcoming TV series. The Cabler officially launched an open casting call this weekend for children from the UK and Ireland to audition for the leads in the HBO original series. The note possibly revealed the targeted start of production date for the series, as it stipulates that the young actors must be between the ages of 9 and 11 in April of 2025. That is 7 months from now, which is how long it took to find the original trio. Deadline reports that the casting call notes include language that has become an industry standard, stating, "We are committed to inclusive, diverse casting. For every role, please submit qualified performers without regard to ethnicity, sex, disability, race, sexual orientation, gender identity, or other basic basis protect." I think it is supposed to say basic, or any other basic protected by or any other no, I was right. Any other basis protected by law unless otherwise specifically indicated. God, legally sucks. The casting call follows the recent hire of Succession duo Francesca Garnier and Mark Mylod as writer and director on the Harry Potter series, respectively, after extensive showrunner search. The series, which originated on Max before moving to HBO, is described as a faithful adaptation of J.K. Rowling's books and will feature a new cast.
Well, I mean that you can't, use the time turner on them and take them back to when they were kids. So yeah, they would have to have a new cast.
Yeah.
So yeah, cool, fun times. This ain't your mama's Sparkle Circle.
Oh God, sparkly vampires.
The Twilight Universe novel Midnight Sun is getting an animated series adaptation at Netflix. The project, which has been given a straight-to-series order, has entered development at the global streamer and comes from Lionsgate. Lionsgate. There they go again. A Lionsgate Television, whose movie studio sibling released the Twilight Saga. The Twilight companion novel is a retelling of Twilight from the perspective of Edward Cullen. Robert Pattinson's performance as Edward in the 2008 film Twilight was informed by Midnight Sun, as Meyer shared her then unfinished manuscript with the actor. So that's kind of cool.
Oh, okay. So we're getting sparkly vampires who are basically fanfic of... Twilight's not fanfic. It's the other stupid movie that was fanfic of Twilight.
The 50 Shades of Grey.
50 Shades of Grey, that's right. Destro, vampires in skinny jeans?
Yeah. There you go.
I'm sorry. This whole thing is misleading because this isn't Midnight Suns.
Yeah.
Midnight Suns is so much better than Sparkly Vampires.
Hey,
Suns has Blade.
That book was actually pretty good. All right.
What, Midnight Sun?
Yeah, I actually read all of the Twilight books. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no. Midnight Suns has Blade, and I would prefer Blade to be in this movie killing all these vampires. Let's move on to the next headline here.
I feel this one right now. She is beauty. She is grace. She will definitely punch you in the face.
Absolutely will.
Prime Video is developing a Reacher spinoff series that will center on Maria Sten's fan favorite character, Frances Neely, and it will be titled Neely. The project is on the fast track to development, and Reacher showrunner Nick Santora has teamed with Nicholas Wooten to develop the project. The author of the Jack Reacher books, Lee Child, is producing the series. There are no details to share other other than what I just said. So I like her. I was actually talking to Husby about this.
Yeah.
That because we're huge Reacher fans, but I was like, is it when you do spinoffs? It's like, is it you love the character as themselves, or you love the character because of how they highlight and interact with the main character of the original?
Right.
And I think with her, I like her as herself.
Yeah.
So
Neely is a fun character either
Yeah.
way, and I would love to see kind of like what she got up to in like, what was it, like the 10 years from when they got out of the army to when they meet up again.
I mean, she's a private detective now.
Right.
So after this last season of Reacher, so I definitely could see them going back like the detective, that, private detective thing where she's helping people every week, that kind of thing. So
Yeah. Be fun.
Yeah.
All right, so let's jump into the regular news here, getting out of the headlines and getting into the download itself. Whew. The MCU is about to get special, or more specially, something like that. All right, 2 of the highest rated TV or film projects to hit Disney Plus are the Marvel special presentations Werewolf by Night and the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. According to Marvel producer and head of TV at Marvel, Brad Winderbaum, we can look forward to more of them. In a recent interview with Comic Book, friends of the show, comicbook.com, Wonderbaum was asked if the studio would produce more special presentations and if he thought it would happen anytime soon. Winterbaum responded, "Yes, I do." Feige even confirmed that one special presentation is already in production. However, he also confirmed that it will not arrive until 2025. So we will have to wait until 2026 to see this project. Are you guys excited for more special presentations, or did you guys even see the first 2 special presentations?
I saw them.
Okay.
And I'm excited about this one.
What do you think it's going to be?
Ghost Rider.
Oh my God, yes. What about Ash? What do you think, man? Did you watch the first 2 specials?
No. No. I'm all thinking, but no, I didn't see him. I know I wanted to see him. That's the other guy from Easy Mama Tambien.
Yes.
tripping?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
That's,
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's the other guy. It's not Andor guy. It's the other guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet. I didn't know if it was gonna be gory. I'm not a real big gore guy.
No,
Right.
it was all in black and white, and
Yeah.
there was very little blood. It's like really like an old school, like black and white, like creature from the Black Lagoon type, like
Right.
50s, 60s kind of thing. It was really well done. It's actually, I liked the I want to say Man Thing. It's not Man Thing, but that special more than I liked the Guardians Holiday Special, and I really liked the Guardians Holiday
Yeah.
Special.
I was gonna say I like the Guardians Holiday Special. I think the best part of the Guardians Holiday Special is that they got Kevin Bacon to show up in it and play himself.
Yeah,
was
no, I
awesome.
mean, I thought that was great.
It was good. I mean, the opening scene in that movie in the special was good too. But I mean, like, it was pretty funny. I did enjoy it immensely. I know Graveyard is not a big fan of Werewolf by Night because it wasn't enough horror for him.
Yeah.
Look on her face right now. But like I enjoyed I enjoyed the kind of the atmosphere and the way they did it. I think that the way that they shot it and the way that it was done could only be done by a music composer,
Yeah.
because there's a music to the way that entire thing was filmed.
Yes.
And
It's really nice. Yeah.
Because the director, it was his directorial debut, and he is a music composer for Marvel.
He actually scored the Marvel theme.
Yes, he's
Like,
the
of everything.
Marvel theme, right?
And the Avengers theme and all that. Yeah. Michael Giacchino.
Right. So I love kind of like they gave him that chance and he was able to pull it off in a way that felt almost reminiscent to the old Universal movies.
Yeah, I loved it. I do love those old Universal movies, like the old school Wolfman, where you're like, that's a guy with a Wolfman mask on. I mean, you know it is, but you're like, no, it's really a Wolfman.
And it very much is the Wolfman. Like it does feel like the Wolfman. And it's funny how like now they're doing the Wolfman movie that's coming out, and I think this version still looks better than the one that's in the
Right.
big Wolfman movie.
And how could you not love Ted?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ted is such a sweetheart. I just love him so much.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, was anybody expecting Man-Thing to show up inside of that?
No, but I loved it. But he's so sweet. I love him. I want a plushie.
And then also establishing vampires in the universe, which basically just makes it so that we can transition to Blade a little bit better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it opened that door wide, and you've got you got Elsa Bloodstone. You introduced her. You introduced Jack Terrier.
Right.
Jack Russell. Sorry, I call him Jack Terrier. Jack Russell. And you got Man-Thing. You got Ted. So that's 3 characters in that world that are pretty well established in that world. So it was good. And he did it in like an hour.
Right.
So it was great.
Did considering that Ash hasn't watched it, did you watch the colored version that came out later?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. Actually, I was like, no, I like it the way that it was, because that's the way he wanted it.
Right.
And then
they re-released it in color the next year.
Yeah, I know, but I like that. I like the original thing.
I haven't watched it in color. I watched it in black and white. I liked it. I like the way it looked in black and white. I think the only reason I would go back and rewatch it in color is to see what Man-Thing looks like on screen.
Yeah, he does look really spooky in black and white, and so he may not be as spooky. So yeah, that might be.
I think he would just look cool and
definitely.
You know. But okay, so let's move on to the next story here.
But Ash, we do recommend, if you were gonna watch, like,
yes,
you have a couple hours to just kill.
I will. I'll end up watching it.
Yeah,
and you'll like the Guardians one. It's got a lot of really fun songs in it, and it's wacky.
Yeah. And it does kind of lead into Guardians 3, like in a really good way.
Yeah.
Some really funny
the holiday thing. Oh, I saw the holiday one. I just didn't see Wolf.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, yeah.
Wolf of Wall Street or whatever it's called.
Wolf of Wall Street. Sandra Betty in the chat said it the best way. It was something different for Disney, but it was still good in a more family-friendly way. So it's not like it's not really gory. There are kind of like scenes that are kind of like a little shocking because you're not expecting a monster to show up and be monstrous on Disney. But it also was not like, like gory or overly scary, like
a lot more like jump scares, like you build it up and you scare yourself kind of thing. Like you're like, oh, what's around that corner? And then there's
especially because like the scenes where Werewolf by Night starts kind of going after people, they're like kind of cutscenes. So like getting away from the horror. But it's implied that he's killing everybody in the room. So
that's cool.
A lot of that's done like old school. I'm telling you, if you have watched those old black and white horror movies that were like old Universal,
it's very old school Wolfman.
It is really old school Wolfman. So
so we'll move on to the next story here because it is also something I'm very excited for, something that we definitely need to talk about just because we know a guy who influenced the hell out of this. To Infinity Gauntlet and beyond. Not long ago, Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige confirmed that they are currently developing a Nova series for Disney+. Now, Marvel Studios head of streaming, television, and animation, Brad Winderbaum, again, is also talking about the project and offers a little bit of insight regarding what we can expect from the tone. During a recent interview with the Phase Zero podcast, how come he can't do an interview with us? Winderbaum described the Nova
we
series.
Asked him to?
Actually, I haven't, and then maybe I will.
Okay.
Winterbaum described the Nova series as an amazing ensemble piece with a great cast of characters, and he indicated that both Richard Rider and Sam Alexander will appear. Oh my
You
God.
just shut your mouth.
We
No
talked
way.
about this. We talked about this. I said they said that. So they announced that Sam Alexander was going to be in the series. Was going to focus on Sam Alexander, right?
Mhm.
And I kept saying I would like to see Richard Rider as like maybe a mentor or something. He confirmed that Richard Rider is going to be in it. That is exactly what it's going to be. Okay,
Yep.
sorry, I'm excited. He also said that the show will have shades of both Star Trek and Battlestar Galactica, which is something that I'm sure fans would embrace and love. Guys, I need your thoughts on this because you can already see I'm stupid stoked about this.
Go first, Ash.
It looks amazing. I don't know much about Nova other than the back of the Marvel 1 and Series 2 cards.
Okay.
But I don't know. It's
So think the Green Lantern.
Yeah,
yeah.
he's like a space cop.
He's a space cop, so he doesn't have like the whole willpower and I can create things.
Yeah.
But he does have like super strength. He does have like super speed. He's a cop with amnesia essentially. And he's a really good character. Like Nova's he's basically think of like the Nova Corps from Guardians of the Galaxy in the first movie.
Yeah.
He's like essentially like the super cop from the Nova Corps.
I got you. Yeah. I again, other than the back of the card, I think it's gonna be awesome.
Right. And
I'm happy it's not. I'm happy we're branching out other than like the Hulk and this and that. Like I'm happy about that.
It's funny because both versions that they're doing of the guys from that have been Nova are both like human, right? And Richard Rider gets amnesia. He gets basically kidnapped and he gets Kree kind of like augmentations and becomes like the guardian of Xandar, essentially.
It's they kind of swiped it for Captain Marvel.
Yeah, he is very similar to Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
Okay.
like they Captain Marvel and Nova like are always like teaming up to do like missions and stuff. They're like really because Captain Marvel with the whole Kree and their what are they? What are the Nova Corps? What Xandarians?
Xandarian, yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so like they team up a lot. So, and that's
Very
it. But I'm thinking, here's what I think. This is what I would like to see when they say Star Trek, Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
I want it to be like he's the Mandalorian, like that type of thing.
Yeah.
Not like he has to
Lone
take
Rider.
but like, yeah, like he's that, like, one Nova, people are scared of that because they're like, oh, you can't beat like how they used to be about the Mandalorians all the time. It's like, oh no, if you go up against Mandalorian, you're gonna get your ass kicked, kind of thing. I want to see that. That's what I want to see from the Nova
I feel like
series.
what's gonna happen here is in universe, Xandar's been destroyed. So I feel like what it is Richard Rider was off planet and is the last survivor of the Nova Corps. Which actually does kind of follow Chris Marinin's run a little bit. And then he's training Sam Alexander because he's trying to reestablish the Nova Corps again.
Yeah.
Right. And he's just like, goes to Earth, finds Sam Alexander and starts training Sam Alexander. Sam Alexander is a very different character from Richard Rider, but they're both, they're similar in movesets and stuff. So I love the idea of getting both versions of Nova.
Yeah, no, that'd be great.
Yeah. And having it be something along the lines of, rather than being the strongest member of the Nova Corps, he's the last survivor of the Nova Corps.
Yeah, I like that. And then also it could be very much like Batman Beyond.
Yeah, that'd be cool too.
Yeah. So. Cool.
And then Destro in the chat saying there's going to be plenty of Guardians making cameos for sure, especially with the new Guardians team that we have. It'll be cool to see all of them in this. So
that would be fun.
Yeah.
But I would rather ask a very important question.
Oh yeah, I'm waiting for this question.
Well, change the picture.
I'm going to when you say it.
Oh. Where are my witches at?
That's right.
You can expect to see more of Ms. Agatha following the events of the upcoming Disney Plus series Agatha All Along. Apparently, Brad Winderbaum can't keep his mouth shut. Recently, he told Screen Rant.
Yeah, that's the third podcast.
I know.
Podcast.
When you have an icon like Catherine Hahn and what she has brought to the screen with Agatha, you just want to see more of her. So yes, there will be more Agatha in the future of the MCU. Yes. She's in an episode of What If season 3.
Oh, nice.
I shouldn't say more, but it's one of my favorite episodes ever done. And it may involve the giant musical number. And she's just incredible. And we all want to see more of her. Marvel Television's Agatha All Along will cast a spell on Disney Plus on September 18th. It's going to be next week, and I'm so excited, and I can't wait. I'm going to wear my witch hat.
So all I've gotten from this story is that we need to get Brad Winderbaum on the show so he can give us an exclusive.
Right?
I'm going to tweet at him right now.
Right? Hey, dude, you've been on every freaking podcast except ours.
We would like an exclusive as well. Would you like to talk at LA Comic-Con?
There you go. So, Ash, what do you think? Did you watch WandaVision?
Yeah. I'm excited. From what I saw, I mean, the trailer, I don't know what to expect, so I'm interested, but I don't know how in I'm in. I am, but
yeah,
I'm in.
This is the third property. This is the third property where I'm going to be expecting Mephistopheles to show up.
Mephisto.
Yeah, because it makes sense for him to show up. Just because I kind of was hoping he was going to show up in Multiverse of Madness.
Oh yeah, I could,
because she had the Darkhold and they had the whole they had Mount Wondergore and everything. So it's kind of like, okay, well, I'm kind of expecting Mephisto to show up and just be like, I'm the mastermind and I'm the puppet master, but it's like it didn't happen. I'd love for him to show up in this because it is an entire coven of witches.
Yep.
Right. So you have Mephisto show that he's the reason that everybody has power to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Like you and like maybe towards the end of the show they have to fight Mephisto and that I would love that. I would love to get kind of like a rebellion against Mephisto.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I think I could see, well, I mean, Agatha Harkness is she's pretty central in the MCU.
And that's
what
the
supernatural world. Yeah. So I mean, exactly. I could see that.
I was gonna say maybe that gives us, she's not necessarily a good guy, but that makes it so that she gets to that point where she becomes the mentor.
Yep.
That she is in the rest of the overall Marvel universe.
And the nanny.
And the nanny. Oh, maybe we get Boba.
Boba.
You remember the million quote unquote clues that this is all Mephisto?
Yeah.
That would be cool if that was in this as well, and you realize that it was all along Mephisto, and it was because you could watch it again in a different. You could watch that the WandaVision again in a different light,
right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, they were giving it away because it was this and this and that.
Yep.
Because there's so many clues that if you're a comic fan, you see all of these Mephisto clues, and that's why so many people are like, when is Mephisto showing up? Because we've seen all the clues. We all know it's coming. We know Mephisto's coming.
Yeah.
Or maybe Mephisto doesn't actually show up and he is a post-credit character on this, and that leads into
Ironheart.
so he is supposed to be an Ironheart, but I was gonna say that leads into Ghost Rider.
I could, yeah.
Because remember,
Both of those would be, yeah.
because he plays a massive role in Ghost Rider.
That's true.
And they've already said, or at least Feige has said, that when Ghost Rider shows up, it's going to be more than one version of Ghost Rider.
Oh,
That's
shit.
cool.
I like
They should
that.
do that.
I like that Feige has been doing this whole thing where it's like, rather than starting off with one version of a character, I'm just going to drop 2 or 3 versions of the character at once,
Mhm.
and then you get like these team ups that we've only seen seldomly in the comics, right? Like maybe we're going to get Cosmic Ghost Rider with Johnny Blaze, right?
Mm-hmm. Or Robbie Reyes and Cosmic Ghost Rider, or Robbie Reyes and Johnny Blaze.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
Or it's somebody on their way out because this is the last time I can do this kind of thing.
Yeah.
well, like
I
if
earned my way to heaven or whatever the situation is.
yeah, if anything, that would be either what's his name? The Vintage Rider. I'm trying to remember his name.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, the guy who came before Johnny Blaze. So like maybe it's him, or maybe it's we're getting to the point where Johnny Blaze is passing the torch to Robbie Reyes,
Yeah, could be that.
right? So I mean, yeah, it's either way. Mephisto plays a big part in that, and I'm excited to finally get Mephisto in the story if that's where they're going. But I do want to see more Agatha Harkness. I think she's a great character, especially with the way that they've revamped her. She's just not like a weird old lady right now.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, that's true.
Because that just makes it more fun that she's just not the weird old lady. She is an interesting character, and she's not just like a mentor character like she is in the comics.
Sorry, I'm trying to find the name, but
Oh, the Vintage Rider.
yeah.
But while you're looking that up, let's get to this last story here. So I'm pretty
Carter Slade.
Carter Slade. That's right.
Okay.
He's the one with the flaming horse.
Yes.
Yeah. But moving into this last story, so Chris Smith goes to Washington, and I'm sure that this Chris Smith goes to Washington is going to get an Emmy, like Mr. Smith goes to Washington.
There you go.
James Gunn. I'm sorry, that is a reference that like most people on here are probably not going to understand.
Mr. Smith goes to Washington because that's exactly why I did it.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Most people are not going to understand it. We do. James Gunn has been working diligently on the new DC universe while fans have been focused on the new Superman movie. Gunn has also has a couple of TV projects cooking, including season 2 of the Suicide Squad spinoff, Peacemaker. When asked for a season 2 update on Threads, Gunn said that he's on Threads, and start talking to James Gunn on Threads. Well, I mean, that he's active like that on Threads.
He says hi.
Hi, James. Gunn said that John Cena and the gang will be back for more outrageous adventures in 2025 after Superman, but it's not going to have Jason Momoa as as the dude who fucks fish. The DCU reboot flies into theaters in July, which means we can expect Peacemaker season 2 sometime in the second half of the year. Gunn recently took to social media to reveal a first official look at the new helmet John Cena's character, Christopher Smith, will don when he makes his return. The photo shows the helmet from the back, but it's clearly a new design, possibly inspired by the future state version of the character. We have back helmet people. We also have merch people, because ladies and gentlemen, we got merch people.
I know we probably want to talk about it, but I just thought that was funny.
Yeah, I know. It's easy joke. But yes, that I like the helmet that we're getting right here. I am excited for more Peacemaker. Peacemaker was such a funny, good series. As much as I know you're not a big fan of the man that nobody can see, John Cena. But he made that show.
Yeah, I haven't watched it.
Oh my god! And Eagly is so good.
That's the only reason why I want to watch it is for Eagly.
Eagly is so good. You got to watch it for the T1000 being just a absurd racist KKK douche.
No, I'm okay with that.
No,
Now I'm in.
he
Yeah, that makes
he
me
actually-
want to watch it more.
he actually plays it really well just because of like the demeanor that he can play.
Yeah,
Right?
Jason Patrick.
Jason, is it? No, it's not Jason Patrick. Is it
Oh no, it's not Jason Patrick.
No.
It's Robert Patrick.
Robert Patrick?
Yeah, Patrick.
Robert Patrick, playing his dad. Was it the Grand Dragon?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. He plays the character so well. It's so believable. And it's funny because Peacemaker is such an oblivious character. Like it's like one of those things where he doesn't agree with his dad, but at the same time he's trying to gain his dad's favor.
Hmm.
But like he doesn't agree with like the way he does things, and he just thinks that his dad's a patriot, even though his dad is a racist prick. So it's great.
He lives in
And it
his own
gives
little
credence
world.
to. It gives credence to. He always thinks he's doing the right thing,
Yes.
even when he's doing the wrong thing.
Yes, 100%. And then the cast of characters that are in the show altogether are so good. There's the show is so well done, and John Cena's performance between that and what was the one where he plays the dad that goes to the parties?
Oh, cockblockers.
Cockblockers. Between Peacemaker and Cockblockers, it's like, no, John Cena's good. I'm willing to watch him act in anything. Just
He
because.
was really good in Jackpot.
Yes.
He
I
was
do want to see
really
him in
good.
Argyle.
I saw him in Argyle. I liked him in Argyle as well.
Yeah.
I still want him to see that.
John is a decent actor. He's actually not he's not as bad as people were expecting him to be. And I love
He
him. in
just
Suicide Squad.
annoys me.
Yeah. But I think he does that on purpose.
Yeah, he does that on purpose. He annoys me on purpose.
Have
Thanks,
you
John.
seen his social media and like how obscure his memes are?
No, I haven't. I don't follow him on social media.
He has the weirdest social media, but it's on purpose. Like he
doesn't want to be seen, hence me not seeing him.
He actually does post like those kind of memes where it's like, I was in this picture, and it's like he's nowhere to be found in it.
Yeah.
Or he'll do like stuff where he's just like making fun of people, and like his social media is actually really funny.
No, I have said, I said this, I typed it out and I sent it. Everybody saw it. I said, I like him and I like his movies. I have changed my mind on that. I will never change my mind on Joker, but I have changed my mind on John Cena. I just have to get used to that he's gonna play John Cena in everything.
Destro said John Cena stopped wrestling, so he has plenty of time to make movies.
No,
Yeah, he's
he's
retiring
going to
next year.
finish off. So 2025, he's going to be doing wrestling.
Right.
To
He's
the end of
officially
2025.
retiring next year. He said WrestleMania next year is his last his
Yeah.
final match.
You just have to, for a wrestling reference, you just have to book him in like a Stallone movie where it's not about him and feelings. They wronged him somehow, and he's got to go kill everybody. You just give him that.
He's done that. He's done a couple of those movies, so hasn't he?
Yeah, that's what I'm
already?
saying.
What I need is for Peacemaker to boof something this season.
I just think that he should stick with comedy. I think he's a really good comedic actor.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I
Just
think that's
don't
I don't think that we can
don't put him in Steel Magnolia. What's the one where Tom Cruise was all crying and he has a feather behind his? No, is it Magnolia? Don't give him Magnolia.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give him
So-
Cliffhanger 2.
Here's the thing, right? And here's where I don't believe putting him in a box is something that means anything, is mainly because Yeah, ruthless aggression. If you look at Dave Bautista,
Oh
You're
yeah.
right.
Dave Bautista is another dude that started off as, okay, let me do these comedic movies, and then started doing more serious roles, and showed that he is a ridiculously amazing actor.
Okay, you're gonna not like me for this, but Dave Bautista is a much better actor than John Cena.
Oh no, he is 100%. Dave Bautista is a much better actor than John Cena is. But how do we know
Destro's
that
got it right there.
he would make a great GI Joe character? I thought he was already in a GI Joe movie.
He
Anyways,
He was, yeah.
but I mean, like, with that being said, I think that what he needs to do to transition, comedy is definitely his sweet spot. He's really good in comedies.
Yeah.
I think the next thing he needs to do is to see if he's worthy enough to do something more than just being comedies, is do what Dave did and be a villain.
Yeah, or do like how he did Knives Out, like the Glass Onion thing.
Yeah.
Where he's still kind of the goofy guy, but he's also not. He's also kind of an asshole. Just to kind of expand him a little bit more so that people will get used to him doing that. But I do think that he is a much stronger comedian than like Dave Bautista.
Bautista was in Southland Tales, right? Right?
Yeah.
Southland Tales?
Yeah.
Where Dave proved that he can do stuff that's outside of comedy, the W podcast. Where he proved that he can do stuff outside of comedy is when Dave was in a James Bond movie.
Yeah, no, he did really well in the James Bond movie.
And he he didn't say anything, but he just he was believable as being that dude that looked like he could kill anybody in the room.
Well, that's still the same typecast, though.
No, it is.
I haven't seen him in Glass Onion. I want to see him in Glass Onion, though.
He's really good in Glass Onion.
Yeah.
And the other movie where I kind of saw him break out a little bit was
the indie film.
No, not the indie one.
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner.
Yeah, he was really good.
He had a very short role in Blade Runner, but he did really good. He was very believable and convincing in that movie. And then of course Dune, and he's just fucking dope in Dune.
Yeah, he is really good in Dune.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say, and I did say this to Husby. I was like, I think Dave Bautista is a much stronger dramatic actor, and I think John Cena is a much stronger comedic actor.
But again, we've never seen John Cena outside of comedies, and that's why I'm saying, like,
there's a commitment to, even there's not a lot of people that can pull off you could see me, like what am I thinking of? Guardians, Drax. But he was a fucking killer I'm a killer, and there was they killed my kids, my mom, his wife, he played that scene amazing, and guys will always admit that shit when they're drunk, and that's how he did it.
Yeah.
And it was awesome.
Yeah.
But the whole, you can see me, and he clearly has chips and there's not a lot of people that can fucking pull that off with a straight face, and it was so good.
Yeah.
But my movements are so slow that it's imperceptible to the naked eye.
And he's just like, Drax, will you just stop it?
No, but it's just the way he did. He goes, "Damn it," and just walks away.
His Mantis goes, "Hi, Drax." He's like, "Damn it."
Ismail the Man says, "What character do you think Dave Bautista could play in the DCU?"
There are so many. I think that he'd be really good. I'd love to see him as a Kryptonian, as one of the Zod. He'd be a good Zod, I think.
He would be
get really skinny.
He has gotten really skinny, yeah.
He did that on purpose. He said he just stopped working out.
Yeah.
Because he's tired of getting typecast as the big guy. He wants to play more roles. Yeah. Which shows that he's serious.
I
Yeah.
saw like a comparison on the internet. I think I can't remember if it's on Instagram or where it was, but that they were comparing him to Hugo Strange. I think he'd be really good as Hugo Strange. I
Ooh.
could see him as a lot of
Now,
different
yeah.
Batman villains.
That would be a good take on Hugo Strange.
Yeah.
Now, yeah.
Oh, Spectre. Yeah, Destro. I like the Spectre.
Spectre
idea
would
of
be dope
Spectre.
too.
Yeah. And then also, I would love to see him play like somebody like The Question or something.
Okay,
You
so
know?
the thing about the question, one, I think they're gonna skip directly to Renee Montoya
Renee. Yeah. I think
because she's got she's got a lot of momentum right now, and
Mhm.
I'm sure they're gonna go right to Renee Montoya. But if you do the original version of, I don't know, I kind of want a redhead to play him.
No, okay.
You don't
Yeah, I
really-
could see that.
You don't really have very many gingers that are like, you know, playing superheroes, and
Yeah, but if you, yeah, that's true. Because Hush is a redhead, but he's a villain. So
right.
yeah, that's true.
Because
Um,
it's such a shocking thing when he finally takes the mask off and he's a ginger.
Yeah,
Mhm.
just like what? But I mean, I like that. I think he could. The Hawkman. I think he'd be really good
Ooh,
as
he'd be a
Hawkman.
really good Hawkman. Yeah,
Yeah, I was like, but he would be a really good Hawkman.
he would be a really good Hawkman. I would give him.
It would kill Dwayne Johnson if they recast Black Adam and he was Black Adam.
He would play a good Black Adam, though.
He would, yeah.
I think that. I mean, I think that we could probably give Dwayne another chance as Black Adam, but the thing is it needs to be done a little bit differently.
Yeah, not so much showboating, Dwayne.
Yeah, he needs to be the he needs to be like Doctor Doom and be the savior of Kahndaq.
Yeah, and also be a lot more like authoritarian and militaristic, and he wasn't really that.
No, he was kind of dumb and just kind of,
Yeah.
you know, went through his space. Anyways,
But yeah, lots of Dave Bautista. He could play a lot of people in the
What?
DCU. So.
exactly. He caught that when he was like, I didn't see that coming.
Ooh, Dead Man.
Dead
He would
Man
be a
would be
good Dead Man as well.
Ooh, Dead Man would be dope.
hmm
He would be cool as what was that Boston
Boston Brand.
Boston Brand? Yeah, he would be cool. He'd be a cool Boston Brand.
Yeah, I could see that. I could also see him playing like oh gosh, more like detective-y people. I could see that. I can't think
He
of
has
anybody.
to
Oh,
be
if
beautiful.
we didn't have a perfect John Constantine already, we have two of them. I would say he might be good as John Constantine as well. Of course,
I don't
he'd
know
have
if
to.
I don't know if I'd want him as John Constantine.
I thought of him
Or,
as Midnight.
Yes. Yes.
Brother Midnight?
Yeah.
He could be a good Brother Midnight.
Mm-hmm. Or Etrigan, Jason Blood. Etrigan.
Oh, dude, he actually kind of looks like Jason Blood.
Yeah, he could do Jason Blood, but he could also do, and he's got that like really gravelly
He's got the
voice.
gravelly voice to do it.
Yeah, it would be really
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
That would be kind of cool to actually, because again, he kind of does look like, especially like the pictures that you've been seeing him now lately. He kind of
Mhm.
does look like he could pull off Jason Blood really well.
Yeah. So see, he's just got so many possibilities.
Mhm.
Yay!
Well, the best of the possibilities that are out there, of course, is that like James Gunn and the wonderful
John Cena.
and Peacemaker, we have merch people. We got merch people. That's the way you do it, right? That's
Mhm, mhm.
seamless transition.
There you go.
The Boogie Down Bro. Oh, Solomon Grundy.
Yeah, he would be really. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I could see that. I could see Solomon Grundy.
Brother Contreras out here said, shout out to everyone in the chat, including Distance Starting Podcast. Keep up the good work on the channel. Appreciate it. And shout out from the South Bronx, Brother
Oh.
BKL Contreras, aka Sport Sportertainment guy. Oh, I dig that. I like
That's
that.
awesome.
I dig this. Yo, brother BKL, let's talk, man. Because Sportertainment sounds fun. We might want to interview you on the show, my man.
Yeah, awesome.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got merch, people. Where's my thing right there? All right. We don't have hat, but we got shirts. So you can get shirts, ladies and gentlemen. All you got to do is DM us or email us at Distance Nerding, emailing us at distancenerding@aol.com. I'll bring that up in a little bit here. We'll get you your size, get your shirt reserved. $20 if you're local to the Sacramento, California area, or $25 if we've got to ship it to you. Because I got to pay for shipping. But yes, get your merch. We've got the shirts. Now we have limited sizes on the black shirt. We're actually starting to run low on those, but we've got all sizes for the great character shirt.
And it's very true to fit, and I love mine.
Right. That's right. You're wearing your character shirt right now.
I'm wearing my character shirt.
Dude, how did we not think of Dave Bautista as Bane?
He wants to play Bane. He already said he wants to play Bane.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
shit,
would
never
be
mind.
amazing as
I
Bane.
know. Sorry.
He wants to play Bane, but the problem is now he's dropped all that weight. He'd have to put all that weight
Yeah.
back on.
Yeah, and Bane is in so many animated things right now. Like he's in Kite Man, he's in Harley.
I
There's a lot.
would like somebody to bring him back to his actual form and be like a Cuban.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you mean Bane?
Yeah,
No?
definitely not that.
No, because I liked him in the comics because he was so smart. Like he
Yes.
could outthink Batman
Right.
as well as break his back.
And I think that's what Dave was saying is he wants to play the smarter version of Bane. He wants to play the version that outsmarts everybody who's up against him.
Yeah.
You know, the guy that it took Azrael to like brutally beat the shit out of him in order to stop him.
Yeah.
You know. Ismail's saying, you think Flash, Wonder Woman, and Green Lantern will get a trilogy in the DCU in the future? I don't know if they'll get a trilogy, but I do definitely want to see takes in this universe for all of these characters. I definitely want to see more Wonder Woman. I want to see the Flash done right. I want to see Green Lantern done right because we haven't gotten a full-on Green Lantern done correctly. So
I'd like to see. Of course, I want a trilogy for Wonder Woman. I'm a huge Wonder Woman fan.
yeah, you're Wonder Woman fans.
But as long as they're good stories, as long as they're solid stories,
Right.
and they help inform the character in some way, and aren't just, oh, I'm a superhero and I'm gonna do superhero things. As long as it actually has some heart to it, I'm so cool with having as many Flash movies, Wonder Woman movies, and Green Lantern movies as you can pump out.
What do you think, Ash?
It really seems like studios are really seeing if stuff works. They'll put out one. If it doesn't work, they just scrap everything. No matter who it is. Like you might have 4, and it sucks for a person that's trying to put together, because when they first talk to you, we need 3 movies, and it's really hard to, because the first one's got to be awesome. Obviously, the second one's got it. It's really hard to put together something when you want it to be a full story in 3 movies. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
Right.
If it didn't make the 48 million that it's supposed to make or whatever, they seem to scrap everything. So
I like the idea of, and this is going to be my last thing on this because we do have to finish up, but I do like the idea of doing continuing storylines through different movies or TV shows. I like the idea of, actually doing the Marvel formula and not just making a bunch of movies and hoping they stick, but telling character-centric stories.
I hate that DC felt that they didn't need to do that.
Yeah.
Because we're going to be copying them.
Yeah.
And then they haven't found the formula equal to that. So
But
then
that's what Ben is doing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the idea of doing a character-centric story that is a part of a larger narrative. Marvel figured out that if we write our stories the way that they're written in the comic books, people will come and watch them.
Yes.
And that's what they need to do. Is there is a larger narrative storyline happening, and each movie we get is just a point in time for that specific character, right? So
It's all about the world lore, baby.
right, and that's what I love about them saying the news that we had earlier. Superman is going to take place in a already established, already built universe, and it is
With
just a
characters.
story about Superman
Yeah.
that is Superman centric. That's why he's just throwing in all these characters. That's why we know Guy Gardner is going to be in there, which means that the Green Lanterns have been established for a while. Guy Gardner is the second Green Lantern,
Yep.
right? So it means Hal Jordan already exists. That means we're already in. If it's an established Guy Gardner, that means John Stewart's already on his way in.
Mhm.
Right. So I mean, like things like that makes me happy as a fan that we're in the middle of a storyline that's already there. The way that we know that you don't need to condescend to the people that are out there, and you can just tell a story and people will learn as they go. Justice League Unlimited just shoehorned in a bunch of characters and you learned as you went.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was
Mhm.
like, you didn't need to know who Plastic Man was, but there's a whole story on Plastic Man and it was great. You didn't need to know who Booster Gold was, but that you got a whole story of Booster Gold. And you're like, oh man, I need to find out more. Let me go read the comics. Like I love the idea of doing it that way.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Right.
I agree.
Anyway.
I'm excited because his favorite Justice League run is a really fun Justice League run, and I really loved it with Kevin Maguire. He loved Kevin Maguire stuff. Anyway, so I'm super excited about that because we could get fire and ice. But anyway, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So let's move on to our schedule. So our schedule, normal schedule here. Monday, game streams on Twitch from 8 to 12. Now I didn't play one this week because I went to the con over the weekend and I had to switch my days. So sorry guys, did not play Star Wars Outlaws this week, but we will get back to that. Tuesdays, the download, the show you're watching right now. We went way over. We've been on good about being on time lately, but we had a lot to cover and we had a promo at the beginning of the show. And then of course Thursdays, the build. Now, of course, this week we're not doing the build because we are doing a con on Thursday, but next week we will be bringing back the build. I'm going to continue the Conquered Jet that I've been building, and our guest next week is a comic book creator named Brandon Ingram. We're going to be talking about his Kickstarter and his series, The Gallows Man, which he describes as Adam West's Batman meets Inglourious Bastards.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know, right? And it's a satire based on the golden age of superheroes. So I'm kind of excited to read and get in on all this stuff. But that's going to be next week. Well, hold on. We've got some stuff going on in here. Sounds interesting. I wrote down in the back of the year between superhero like Spider-Man, including Avengers. I thought they cast Tyrese as John Stewart. No, Tyrese wants to be John Stewart. No offense until I do it. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is our schedule. But again, our normal schedule: Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays. So with that being said, it is time for pluggables. So I'm going to bring in. Bring on the person who has the most to gain for pluggables. Ash, plug all your stuff. Plug everything.
Oh, my bad. Okay, so comics. The comics podcast has turned to Saturdays at 2:30. We also do the corner on Mondays, and that's more of a trivia show. The corner this Monday will be The Last Dragon trivia show. After that, that's Winter Circle, and then after that's going to be Donnie Darko. Showing up. You can always find me at Mobstash in Instagram, and just enjoy the day. Sorry we went Lord of the Rings long. This was
literally Lord of the Rings long.
We did.
Director's cut.
We're almost Titanic long. All right.
And he means that physically.
Absolutely.
Iceberg ahoy.
And
Um,
it's just as bad. Disappointment is what I'm saying. Disappointment. All right, Jen.
Okay, so hey, I am Jen. I am on Distance Nerding, as you see me now. I do occasionally show up on Thursdays as well. I do things on Kyber Cave occasionally. And I have my own channel called Frey Girl, where I post shorts of my corgis, myself, just basically anyone in my life. And I also, my son and I, Shadu, we do a show called Classified, where we take your favorite fandoms and we classify them in Dungeons and Dragons classes. We have a sister show called Journals of the Classes. We are going to be doing a second sister show called Roles of the Classes, or no, Roles of the People. I don't know. I can't remember the name of it. Shadu would know it. But we're doing that. It's going to be based on the races of the of D&D, just like it's going to explain them basically. So that way, if you're new to D&D, you can actually get more in-depth information about different characters that you might want to be, or different species you might want to do. So yeah, that's me.
All right. Well,
I think I went over everything. I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure you did. If not, then people can go to your channels and figure it out. Have something you want to discuss? Tell us what you're nerding out on, and make sure to let us know in our Facebook group, The Distance Nerdington Post. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you can support us. If you would like to support Distance Nerding, the best way to do it is to head over to distancenerding.com. Wrong one. Head over to distancenerding.com, go to the top of the page, hit that buy us a taco button, and you can buy us a taco. Join the taco party. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, join the taco party. And that is the, again, best way to support us. It makes it so we can do more shows. We can get better prizes for everybody. We can give away better prizes because, guys, I just want to buy your love. I'm not afraid to buy your affection. Right? I am not. I'm here to buy your love. So, guys, I'm here to
sound like my dad.
I know, right?
It didn't work on Tinder, and it won't work here, Phil.
It shut up. Because the other thing that we do that works. That other thing that we do, this joke. Connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. It's not X. I'm never going to call it X. It's going to be called Twitter for the rest of its existence. Twitch, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, Discord, MySpace, Vine, GeoCities, Friendster, Second Life, AIM, Farmers Only, Christian Mingle, OnlyFans. It's only pictures of Aaron Watson's feet and handles, and the beard, and Jamez's glasses, just judging you directly, staring at you, and judging you for not supporting Distance Nerding. And of course, Shadu, because he is willing to do anything for money. At Distance Nerding, wherever it exists, whatever social media there is, especially on the OnlyFans. And if you are really going to go look for that, you will be disappointed. So just like anytime, you're with me. Of course, if you'd like us to break up with your boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, pet, schoolyard bully, annoying neighbor, or just tell us how much you enjoy us, hate us, or wish the internet would consume us completely and spit us out at the feet of the original Johnny Blaze.
Yep.
The man himself, Nick Cage. Just
That
leave
would
us
be,
there.
That would be it.
Yeah, you can shoot us an email at dist.
Yep. Yeah, that Nick Cage.
That Nick Cage. That guy Nick Cage. He's just he's a great guy. He's a great guy, that guy.
Hey,
My
Nicky
girlfriend.
Cage, he's a good guy.
He's a good guy. I just want to do more of that guy Nick Cage. He just makes me want to look at everything.
He makes me want to find treasure.
I want to look at all the treasure out there, and then I want to make sure that I get the dinosaur bones, the way that he gets the dinosaur bones. Them things, he makes a soup with them, and it's delicious.
And then he made that weird snuff film, and that was it.
Yeah. It's nerding at AOL.com, and we will read it live on air. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it from us. We love you 3000. It is now time. Absolutely right. It is now time for the dance party. So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks and keep nerding.
Keep nerding together.
Oh, look at that. We almost did it together.
Almost.
All right, let's do this. That is a big hella Mexican. Órale.
Yes, baby.
It's an empty string.
Invisible.
John Cena.
Oh, he's got, I think.
Saba. What's a guinea pig?
That's a live thing.
Yeah, it is. We'll see everybody on Thursday.
Everybody.